going on? Jeff Hardy, the Charismatic Enigma here, and you are watching the Common Sense Ain't Common podcast.
Bitch, I'm that damn good. Smoking on some good, some rosy on the wood. Standing on the shit so you can get it understood. It's pedigree in me because I'm that damn good. Bitch, I'm that damn good. Bitch, I'm that damn good. Smoking on some good, something rosy on the wood. And bitch, I got the belt so you just get it understood. It's pedigree in me because I'm that damn good. Bitch, I'm that damn good.
Big O, I am turning. Big O, what I'm burning. Big O. Big O, I put her in. Plus, you know, I'm about to give her that weight. Yeah, she ain't living like China. Yay, yo. Welcome to episode 30 of the Common Sense Ain't Common podcast. We have made it all the way to episode 30. This is just an audio episode, and I'm going to be honest, it's because I'm starting to look a little homeless. And I'm really actually enjoying the audio episodes as well. But I'm just starting to look a little homeless just because I'm like focusing on WrestleMania and moving. I'll be brought back to life on my birthday, March 29th. Make sure you get your dollars ready and send me a little something because you know I'm going to WrestleMania. Yeah. But welcome to the Wrestling Weekly Report of the Common Sense Ain't Common podcast. I am your host, the illustrious, your role model, the blueprint, Dame Don. And I feel like that's became more accurate. It's becoming more and more accurate. Like, I'll talk about it on Monday. Let's hop right into the Wrestling Weekly Report. Let's just jump right in. There has been a lot of teases for Cody Rhodes on Raw. They're doing the wow, yeah, let's smoke and mirrors. There's a lot of smoke and mirror. There's a lot of smoke and mirror references. I love that fucking theme song. Like, I can't even lie to you. That is like that was one of the perks when I thought about Cody Rhodes coming back. I'm like, holy shit, we're gonna get smoke and mirrors. I love that fucking song. I love that song. But they were doing a lot of teases for Cody. Cody actually did make a post with his dog and his baby and said this is what retirement life looks like. So I'm not really sure if like who's playing who, but apparently news has gotten really quiet as of late, and you know that usually when things get quiet that something is on the way. So we'll definitely see what's to come with that in the coming weeks. Is he going to be Brock's opponent at Madison Square Garden show on the 5th that they just announced on Monday? It looks like Brock Lesnar will defend his WWE Championship on March 5th at the Madison Square Garden event. I'm not sure if this is going to be televised, but I feel like they really wouldn't have brought it up if it wasn't going to be televised. Like, I hope they're gonna televise this. Oh, I actually should have started with this. Cesaro is gone from WWE. I am absolutely like shocked at this. I can't believe Cesaro has been let go. I can't believe that WWE let Cesaro go, but apparently I think they negotiated him down in money, or he wanted more money than what he was already making, and they weren't willing to give him more money. He stated that he didn't want to leave, but, well, it was reported that he didn't want to leave, but he couldn't take the pay cut or the pay that they were offering him or whatever that had been. So I'm kind of excited to see what's going to happen with Claudio Cesaro in the near future. I'm not really sure if we're going to see Cesaro be like a world champion in AEW, though. Like, I do really like Cesaro. Cesaro is a hell of an athlete, but there is something that doesn't connect with Cesaro. Like, I don't know if you maybe need to like have Paul Heyman manage him or something, but, well, I guess you can't do that now, but maybe you just need like to give him like a really strong manager, because he is a beast in the ring. He is a beast, you know, in strength and all that, but he's missing something. Like, he doesn't have the personality, really. Like, he's just kind of bland. He's just like a wrestler. That's it. He's just a wrestler. He needs a mouthpiece. So hopefully that works out for Cesaro in the future. Best of luck to him in his future endeavors. Logan Paul is the Miz's tag team partner for this Dominic and Ray versus Miz and Logan Paul match. Why the fuck did they have Logan Paul come back for this? I understand that Logan Paul drives big numbers, and that's pretty much the reason why Ronda is back too, if we're going to be honest. But I understand that Logan Paul drives big numbers and all that, but why is he there? Was Bad Bunny not available? Is Bad Bunny still on tour? Like, I almost feel like it would have made a lot more sense if you had Bad Bunny come back and have them kind of bury the hatchet, unless they're going to have Bad Bunny in the corner of Rey and Dominic Mysterio, because Rey actually gave Bad Bunny his mask after the Royal Rumble. So maybe Bad Bunny will be involved in this somehow, because, you know, Miz and Bad Bunny do have that connection from last year's WrestleMania. They could have even brought fucking John Morrison back, for God's sakes. Speaking of John Morrison has signed with GCW, and he is now known as John Superstar. Because, you know, he usually just goes with John Gimmick, whatever the gimmick is. Johnny Impact, Johnny Lucha, like whatever it is. He's just going to go with that. Going to go with pretty much whatever brand he signed with at that time. That's going to be his name. I feel like that was a big loss for WWE too. They definitely should not have let him go. Like, that was a huge loss for WWE. Victoria. Can we please get Victoria in the Hall of Fame this year? I would absolutely die. Victoria is so deserving to go into the Hall of Fame. And I think I'm such an avid put Victoria in the Hall of Fame person, because Victoria actually gave me one of my first wrestling memories ever, when she shaved Molly Holly's head at WrestleMania 20. Like, I love Victoria. I love everything about Victoria. I was actually looking at Hall of Fame tickets in Dallas, but for the combos, everything is sold out except the fucking bleachers. Like, and I've never sat that high in my life. I'm scared of heights. I feel like I would be better off just watching it on my laptop outside the arena or something, so I can feel the energy. I don't know. I'm sure they're gonna have like watch parties or something. I'm gonna find something, but I'm not going to the Hall of Fame and sitting in the nosebleeds. Like, I'm scared of heights. I'm not doing that. I would love to see Victoria in the Hall of Fame. Of course, we got The Undertaker headlining this year. This is bound to be a great Hall of Fame. I'm definitely having my fingers crossed for Victoria. Please, wrestling gods, please. KO and Seth Rollins appear to be tag teaming for a little bit until WrestleMania and Austin comes back, I guess, because they're going after the tag titles next week in a triple threat tag team title match. I'm not really sure if they're gonna win the titles. They're kind of my pick to win the titles, but I feel like KO and Seth are going in complete different directions going into WrestleMania. So if you put the tag team titles on them, sure, you would have the tag team titles, the tag team champions in matches, but it would do nothing for the tag team division. But I could definitely see Vince giving Seth and KO the tag titles and having them do singles matches at WrestleMania. I could definitely see Vince doing some shit like that, 100%. But I definitely have my pick of KO and Seth being a tag team, or maybe one of them will turn on each other. But I definitely feel like something is going to take place in this tag team title match with them. They're either going to lose and break up because they lost, or they're going to win the titles. It's going to be one of those two. Speaking of the men's tag team titles, what the fuck is going on with the women's tag teams? What is going on with the women's tag teams? There is no women's tag teams at all. The champions aren't even a real team. At one point, WWE had a lot of good tag teams vying for the women's tag team championships. Like that match at WrestleMania, they had the Riot Squad. They had Mandy and Dana, I think it was. Mandy and Dana. Then they had fucking Lana and fucking Naomi and Tamina and Natalya. And out of all those people, the people that deserved it the least won, which was Natty and Tamina. And that's no offense to them. I do understand that they wanted to give Tamina the big win at WrestleMania, but the Riot Squad was a good would have been a good win. Like, they deserve that big win. I can't believe the Riot Squad never won the tag team championships. Lana had been getting put through tables for 100 years. That could have definitely been Lana's redemption story. Like, it just didn't really, they just kind of flopped. And then after that, they released all the damn tag teams. Like, it just didn't really make any sense. It does look like Sasha Banks and Naomi have become a tag team on last night's SmackDown. So they'll be teaming now, and I guess we can see them take the titles at WrestleMania. I know people are saying, oh, Sasha deserves better. But this is actually a Team Bad reunion. If you remember, Team Bad was Naomi, Sasha, and Tamina. This is actually a Team Bad reunion. I actually think they should pull Tamina in there and have her be the manager for them, go all out full Team Bad, and turn Naomi heel. I feel like they should go all the way with it. And I feel like you can't look at it as, oh, poor Sasha Banks, but you need to be happy for Naomi, because now Naomi is going to get the push that she deserves. Naomi is going to get the spotlight that she deserves, because they're clearly going to be doing something with her at WrestleMania if they're pairing her with Sasha Banks. A lot of people are upset with the booking of Naomi. Putting her with Sasha Banks is going to automatically elevate the booking of Naomi. So you can't look at it as, oh, boo-hoo, boo-hoo Sasha Banks, boo-hoo Sasha Banks. We need to look at this as a plus for both of them. This is going to make Sasha Banks a 3-time women's tag team champion, if not 4. I don't know, 3 or 4, one of those. It's going to make her a 3 or 4 women's tag team champion, and it'll finally give Naomi something. Naomi hasn't had the championship since, the 2017 or something like that. This last pay-per-view Elimination Chamber was Naomi's first win since she won the WrestleMania Battle Royal 100 years ago. So we can't look at it as poor Naomi. We have to just look at it as, or poor Sasha. We have to look at it as, this is going to change Naomi's booking if she can utilize it right. Because one thing I have noticed about Naomi, I'm not going to lie, Naomi really hesitates when she wrestles. It's almost like she's thinking about it as she's doing it. And you can kind of see it at the end of that match what she had with Charlotte. Great match, no knock on the match at all. But I just feel like you can kind of see that Naomi is thinking about the moves as she's doing them. I think once she just starts doing the moves, she'll be perfect. She'll be perfect, because that was a flawless match last week. Absolutely tremendous. What I need from WWE is to put some women's tag teams together, keep them together, don't break them up in 2 weeks like you did Rhea and fucking Nikki Ash. I know it was longer than 2 weeks, but like, we need some good founded tag teams in both the men's and the women's division. They both need good tag teams. Because the Usos and the New Day have been the standard bearers of the tag teams for the men division for 100 years now too at this point. We need to build good tag teams. You got all these guys in the back that aren't doing anything. Put them in a tag team division. Find some people that actually click. Find out who's best friends for real on the road and put that shit on TV. That'll be good TV. They're already friends. They already have the chemistry. They gotta start testing new shit out. They gotta start doing something at this point. It does look like Jeff Hardy is AEW bound, as it was broken on somebody's YouTube page this past week. First of all, I just want to say, I said it first! No, I really did say it when I met Jeff Hardy. When I met Jeff Hardy, he did say it to me, and I did put it in the Jeff Hardy vlog. But shout out to the guy that actually did post the interview, do the interview, and blow up from the interview. His channel has gone bonkers. I did go ahead and watch and like that video. He has gone up, and congratulations to him, because it does look like he's been grinding for quite some time. Jeff has actually came out and stated that, it's just a goal he set, and he can't actually go to AEW because, legally, he can't even talk about a contract right now. I don't really believe. I think you can. I don't know. I don't really know the legality of these motherfuckers' contracts. But he did say, oh no, it was just a goal. Don't get too excited. It was just a goal I have set for myself. The Rock praises Montez Ford, says Montez Ford is going to be a WWE champion one day. Montez Ford is absolutely one hell of an athlete. If you go back and you watch my draft prediction episode, I was saying they were splitting up the Street Profits until I was blue in the face. I sincerely believed they were going to split the Street up. They were going to split up the Street Profits, and I was genuinely surprised when they didn't. Honestly, I definitely thought Montez Ford was going to get his push after that match he had with Roman Reigns on SmackDown a couple weeks ago. I definitely thought the draft was going to be that moment where they separated those two. But I'm kind of happy they didn't separate those two, because Lord knows what's going to happen to Dawkins. Lord knows what's going to happen to Dawkins, because Montez Starr is definitely the Shawn Michaels of this tag team. And unfortunately, Dawkins is Marty Jannetty. AJ Styles has re-signed with the WWE for another 3 years, I believe. Either 3 years or $3 million a year. Something like, I think it's $3 million a year. He re-signed with the WWE for $3 million a year about, or, I think that's even before like merchandise and all that shit. But he did state that he plans on retiring at WWE, and he released a statement saying that it was actually really easy for him to re-sign because he's happy there. I know everybody kind of has like this notion that everybody's unhappy in WWE and all this other shit, but I feel like, clearly that's not the case. KO just resigned. Sammy just resigned. AJ just resigned. Clearly everybody's not unhappy there. You know what I'm saying? I'm sure there are some frustrated people. I'm not saying nobody's frustrated, but I don't think the saying of, oh, everybody is dissatisfied in WWE is true. Becky Lynch's promo on Bianca Belair this past Monday on Raw was fire. I'm usually not a fan of Becky Lynch's promos at all. I actually really don't like them at all, but her promo against Bianca Belair was tremendous. I actually didn't even put together that they're both the two women that have won their respective WrestleMania main events going up again in another match. And it was stated that Becky stated that they were going to main event again, but actually, sweetheart, the main event will be given to the Queen. I want everybody to sit up straight, bend a knee, and bow down to the Queen as she main events WrestleMania against Ronda Rousey on night one. It is confirmed that they will be main eventing night one. I do actually already have a Charlotte shirt for WrestleMania, so it's on and popping. It's on and popping. I'm wearing my Charlotte shirt to night one, and we lit. We out here. I just want to say, what happened to everybody that was saying Finn Balor was buried, huh? Finn Balor was out the country due to medical issues. That's why, or due to family issues. That's why he wasn't at the Royal Rumble. The second he came back, he was in a tag team match, and then later that night, he's calling out Damian Priest. I can never say his last name right. Damian Priest. He's calling him out later that night. What happened to Finn Balor's buried? See, that takes me back to Finn Balor's not buried. Y'all just don't like the personal booking of Finn Balor. Finn Balor's not fucking buried. People on TV every week are not buried. I don't care what you say. But it does look like Finn is going to be getting another title match. Obviously not for the world title, because that is going to be Brock and Roman in a unification match that they just announced, and we'll talk about that in a little bit. But he's coming back and he's getting a title match. Every time he comes back, he's getting a title match. Stop saying Finn Balor is buried, please. Please stop. Let's head over to NXT for a little bit. NXT is booking the Uso down there really strong. They had him take down Gunther, and he's not really one that's booked to take bumps at all. They booked him to take down Gunther, and I feel like they may be building him up for something big. He may be in the coming of maybe joining the Bloodline. I could definitely see him maybe joining the Bloodline. Maybe he's trying to make his own niche. Maybe he's trying to path his own way, but it's really hard because all of Rakishi's sons look like triplets. So, I mean, it would only make sense if they put him with them because he looks just fucking like them. I do understand he maybe want to do his own thing. I'm not saying I've heard that he said this, but Maybe he does want to do his own thing, but it's going to be really hard for him because they look like fucking triplets. And if you see the other brother, the fourth brother, they look like they're quadruplets. So they might as well just put them all together and have him join the bloodline. A very, very, very impressive debut by Nikita Lyon on NXT. My God. My God. Nikita Lyon, 22 years old, strutted her way out to the ring and had quite the performance and has taken social media by storm. I 100% believe that they are going to push her just off the social media reaction alone. I feel like they almost have to, and they would be stupid not to. I seen somebody made a tweet and they said, "Oh, Mandy Rose NXT crown has shifted." Relax. Don't go that fucking far. But Nikita Lyon is here. Nikita Lyon is roaring on the NXT Women's Division. I'm very excited to see what she does. It's been brought to my attention that she was actually on a dating show called One Mo Chance, Season 1. Her name was Shera, S-H-E-R-A-W, Shera was her name, her nickname, I guess, and she was on a dating show fighting for the guy's love. He's from I Love New York. I'm not really sure if you guys know him, but his name is Chance from I Love New York. She was on his dating show a couple years ago, so that's interesting that I found that out. But the social media reaction has been absolutely bonkers for her. Absolutely bonkers for her. Can't wait to see what's going to take place with that, and can't wait to see what's taking place with Mandy Rose and God's Greatest Creation. It does also look like Tommaso Ciampa may have said goodbye to NXT at the end of the taping. I believe it was at the end of the taping or the end of the show, something of that nature. But he sat in the middle of the ring and he said a little message, and it was kind of hinting at him being done with NXT. I'm not sure if that means WWE or he's headed to the main roster, but he did just have a match on Raw last week, and he was on commentary the week before that. So I'd assume he's headed over to Monday Night Raw. Let's head over to AEW, and we're just gonna start with what's being talked about the most with the Jade Cargill and Buddy match and the whole Jade forgetting to kick out. Let me tell you something. You know what didn't forget to kick out? Her check didn't forget to kick out. No, I can't be too biased, but you know I'm gonna be biased with Jade. You cannot be too hard on Jade. Jade has legitimately only had 28 matches. Her 28-0 record is legitimately how many matches she has had. Now, I'm not gonna lie. If I didn't know that, I may be a little hard on Jade. But the fact that she has legitimately only had 28 matches, and all of her practice, basically, this is essentially her practice. All of her practice is televised. So I feel like you can't really keep doubting Jade. Yes, it did make Jade look bad. Yes, it did make the referee look bad. But I almost feel like she was kind of, I don't know if she was tired or she was knocked out. Because to me, it kind of looked like she was like a little unconscious a little bit. But she kind of like got her wits, like maybe she got her bell rung. Because it kind of looked like she was a little out of it the way she was just laying there. I don't think she just forgot to kick out. I think something happened, and then maybe she snapped back into it. I don't see her just forgetting to kick out. But, you know, you can't really tell wrestling fans shit. They think they know every fucking thing, so. But that's what I think it is. Jade has legitimately only had 28 matches, guys. I know what I'm saying isn't going to stop everybody from shitting on her. I know a lot of people probably aren't even going to listen to this shit, but we can't be too hard on Jade. Buddy Matthews has debuted. Buddy Matthews is all elite, joining the House of Black alongside Brody and Malachi Black. Last week we talked about Buddy Matthews knocking on the door, and you know, I thought this meant he was gonna attack them. He's joined them, and this is crazy how this has just come completely full circle, and they're pretty much going with this story of what happened back in WWE in the performance era where they took Malachi's Black's eye. I really like that Malachi has continued to go with this storyline because, you know, you kind of just can't go back. I mean, I guess you could have, but I really like that he's just continuing to go with this storyline. I really do enjoy this. I'm really happy to see where this is going to go in the near future. MJF cut a tremendous promo this past Monday. Maybe one of his best promos ever. People were saying he broke character. I don't think he broke character. I just feel like he just had a real genuine promo. That was a really, really good promo by MJF. And somebody actually went and found his Facebook message that he posted in 2015. And it is legit. They legitimately did post the message. The Revolution card is stacked. It looks like we're going to get Eddie Kingston versus Jericho, and that was also a great pay-per-view. All the pay-per-views on AEW Dynamite this past week were awesome. Every last one of those pay-per-views were really good. I'm not even going to lie. I meant promos. All of those pay-per-views were really, really good. Revolution is stacked, and it is also playing in movie theaters. So I'm actually thinking that I might do that. And maybe just kind of put it on the podcast and maybe record a little bit of that. I'm actually thinking of doing that. I think that would be a fun experience just because I've never went to a wrestling event in a movie theater before. I think that would be a really interesting thing to do. On last night's SmackDown, they did confirm that this is going to be a title unification match between Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar. They're billing it as the biggest WrestleMania match ever. I don't know why Vince has to always give everything like these big ass, extravagant ass titles, but they're being billed as the biggest WrestleMania match ever. It is a title unification match, so it does look like we'll be going back to just one title. I feel like there's way too much talent to just have one title. The champion can only be in a storyline with one person at one time. So then what the fuck is everybody else going to be doing? Well, actually, they could use all the other guys to elevate these fucking lower card titles. We talked about last week how the United States title needs to be elevated. The Intercontinental Championship needs to be elevated. So you know what? Actually, as I'm sitting here talking about it, if they are going to unify the titles, they need to use these singles mid-card titles to build them. Give them to the bigger stars and elevate the value of these titles. Have a women's mid-card title. I think I kind of get rid of the brand split. I do really like that, you know, they have certain people on one brand and certain people on the other brand. I don't want to necessarily say get rid of the brand split, but kind of shake it up a little bit. Have people that are mainstays on those shows. Like, you know, like back in the day when there wasn't really brands, but you knew Undertaker was only going to be on SmackDown and Triple H was only going to be on Raw. Like, that just always how it was. Even though there really wasn't brand splits at that time, that's just always how it was. They could do something like that. But I definitely feel like they need to start elevating these mid-card titles, unify the women's championships, give them a mid-card championship as well, and then just fucking redesign the tag titles. I'm so tired of those ugly-ass tag titles, please. They're doing more Austin hints. The New Day came out on the Zamboni, so I'm pretty sure that they're hinting more at this Austin shit versus Kevin Owens. Kevin Owens did actually just make some tweets this past week, and he was talking about how he was really grateful for his debut against John Cena, and the only thing he regrets is that it was in Texas. So it looks like this whole storyline is going to be about him hating Texas, which, okay. He could have did. I feel like they would have been better off doing something like, nobody can do this turner better than me. I took it, like something like that. Like, they're going to bring him out of retirement because they're saying he hates Texas. I don't get it. Madcap Moss and Baron Corbin is just becoming more and more apparent that they're going to be splitting pretty soon. Happy Corbin has been undefeated since becoming Happy Corbin. I hope Corbin turns on Madcap Moss and turns him into the Lone Wolf. Go back to the Lone Wolf. We really need the Lone Wolf, Baron Corbin. But it is actually kind of clear that they see something in Madcap Moss. They see something in Madcap. And I do believe that they did state that Shane McMahon saw something in him back when they were doing the, what was that segment called? The Raw Underground. they were stating that Shane McMahon really saw something in Madcap Moss. So they do see something in him. So it does look like he might be getting the singles push, and Corbin's going to go back and be the heel. But I definitely, well, Corbin is the heel anyway, just as a happy-go-lucky bullshit heel. I definitely want the lone wolf Baron Corbin, the I'll bring the darkness, I'll bring the thunder. I need that Baron Corbin. It looks like we have a huge SmackDown scheduled for next week. Oh, speaking of, one thing I did miss from SmackDown last night, Brock Lesnar went fucking berserk on all the security in the ring. The Usos and Roman Reigns, the Bloodline tried to set up Brock Lesnar, and it completely went left. It completely went left, and Brock beat the shit out of everybody. This is going to be a really loaded SmackDown next week. They got Sonya Deville facing Ronda Rousey. They got Sami Zayn versus Ricochet for the Intercontinental Championship. The Viking Raiders versus the Usos for the tag titles. And also, who the fuck is going to be Brock Lesnar's opponent on March 5th at Madison Square Garden? I really want to know. Paul Heyman is still hinting at it. Paul Heyman must have something to do with this. Paul Heyman is actually really can't be trusted at this time, though. Like, how the fuck do we trust Paul Heyman? How the fuck do we know Paul Heyman is not going to go and cross Roman at WrestleMania? Like, this is going to be crazy. Speaking of WrestleMania, I completely understand now why you're supposed to book WrestleMania months and months and months in advance and not last minute like I am. Because every fucking week they're announcing something new. They just announced WrestleCon for WrestleMania week. And fucking Trish Stratus is going to be there. Kelly is going to be there. Nia Jax is going to be there. Kurt Angle is going to be there. Fucking the Iconics are going to be there. But the only thing that kind of turned me off about the whole WrestleCon thing is, like, you can buy this fan pass thing and you can go to all the sessions, but once you get there, like, so the ticket is like $160 for all the sections. Then you get there and then you still have to pay for pictures for with all the wrestlers and all that. Like, what? Like, what is going on? Before we get out of here, let's just quickly talk about WWE 2K22. They have given us pretty much little to no information. They did just confirm that William Regal will be a playable GM in my GM mode. I'm really excited about that, to use William Regal. I'm not really sure why the fuck that was a secret and they couldn't just say that from the jump. But it looks like 2K has really given us little to no information. Really little to no information. It does look like the only thing they added to Universe mode or changed really was the Superstar Play mode, where you could just follow one superstar and just follow their career and just play as them. But if you're just like me and you've been playing Universe for years, I do that anyway. I do that on my own with like 3 or 4 people. I don't need you to put that in there. I want more rivalries. I want triple threat rivalries. I want fatal 4-way rivalries. Like, I hope that they're just trolling us and they announced or they added more than they announced. I hope they are just trolling us. They did say last night that next week we will get a complete roster reveal. I don't want a roster reveal. Just give us entrances of people that have already been released. I don't really give a shit about the roster. Tell us what you've added in fucking Universe mode. Go more in depth of my GM mode. Like, because I heard with my GM mode, you can only do singles and tag team matches, like no triple threats or tag, or like there's only one champion. Like, they're really only telling us what they want to tell us at that point. Go into detail and tell us the real shit. Give us the real deal Holyfield. Give us the real deal Holyfield. Thank you guys so much for listening. That was episode 30 of the Common Sense Ain't Common podcast. We will be here Monday for our 6-month anniversary episode, Monday-ish. 6-month anniversary episode. Thank you guys so much for listening, subscribing. Please like this video, subscribe to this video, share it to a friend, send it to a friend, tell a friend about it, post it on your IG, and make sure you follow my socials as well. Twitter @DameDon, And Instagram is Don Life with 2 N's and 2 E's. I'll speak to y'all on Monday.
That nigga cold, dog. I got a cold shoulder for a fuck nigga if he prove he a mog. I'm pulling up, I got the hammer. I threw an X on the banner. She ain't there throwing that ass at me, but I would not fuck if she Bama. She call me Billy like badass, I call her Billy like Jean. I never slack on the fast cash, even the jacket is jean. If it's a problem, I'm coming direct. I ended up making a scene, cause I've been through hell in a cell, but that's what it take to be king. And bitch, I'm that damn